30 seconds or whatever. Intro starting
This is
now.
Steve Downs,
Make sure everyone starts
the
their
voice of
recording.
Master Chief. This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. Welcome to Quality Time, the KO Koala Entertainment Podcast. Anthony and Skylar will take it from here. Master Chief, out.
Hello and welcome to Koala Time, the KO Koala Entertainment Podcast. I'm Skylar Sokol.
I'm Anthony Nicolosi.
And today we've got
Joshua Broncoli. Don't forget me.
He's in. He's in. I was going to introduce Josh like he was a guest because he's so rare on the podcast, but he jumped in on his own, and I'm proud of him.
I'm a real koala.
This is our boy Josh, the third mysterious KO Koala employee who you may have only seen in Instagram memes. Also today we have an actual special guest. What do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, sure. My name is Ben Reuben. I'm the CMO and CFO for a nonprofit I run called the EGD Collective. And essentially what we do is we go, hey, you're a student. You like games, right? Now let's bring that to your campus. And now let's make it an accessible career opportunity for you.
That's awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah, you want to go tell? All right, well, I guess Josh is going to be running this one. So Josh, you let us know what.
That's a good pitch.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say. That's a great pitch.
No, I like it too. It's way better than the pitch we've come up with for our game so far. So
No, it's okay.
Pitch?
Yeah, exactly.
I have so much practice with that pitch. Like we went through an accelerator program with CUNY, and they were like, okay, you got to make your pitch at maybe 5 words at most sometimes. And I'm just like, 5 words? How do I make it 5 words? It's 100 words. And then like I just kept practicing to get to that point. I'm just like, oh, it's possible. It just doesn't sound too good.
Possible.
It doesn't have any of the detail you hope it would have, but at least people will be like, it sounds like he knows what he's talking about. I can ask more questions.
Yeah. Well, we want the 500 word version out of this, right?
I can read it out for you right now.
Go in depth. Oh, you have a. You don't have to go buy it. You don't need to plot a script, man. Like, no, but no. So, well, we could go into a little bit, like, maybe like some specific things that you do at EGDC. What like how you got started, maybe stuff like that.
Okay, so the things I do at the EGD mainly are I do all of our marketing. That includes outreach, contacting student leaders, setting up membership, and then also on top of that, I manage all our social medias. So if you're seeing anything about the EGD, that's because of me. And if you're seeing it, that means it's working. And then the reason I got it with the EGD was I just came into the we used to be a student organization before we were a nonprofit. And I just walked in one day and I was like, I've been here for 2 weeks. I want a leadership position. And the treasurer position was open on our e-board. And I went, okay, can I run for that? No one else ran against me. So I went up. I go, I want this position. Now, here's a joke. I tell a joke.
Treasurer? Treasurer?
Yeah, treasurer.
You said? Yeah, who the fuck wants to be the treasurer, man?
I did a lot of vice president work anyway. It's not that big of it. Like I did a lot of stuff besides being treasurer. But like I went in, I did I ran against no one, and everyone's like, I gave a speech. I just told one joke, and then I sat down. Everyone goes, that guy told a good joke. I like that guy, and I got voted in.
Was it want to hear a joke? NFTs, and then that was it. And then they all clapped, and then
maybe not in 2017 NFTs, but Bitcoin.
Good,
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Hey, Bitcoin, it's not a joke anymore.
It's still a joke today.
Yeah.
It wasn't a joke if you got it a while ago, though. If you got it back in 2017, it wasn't. It's not a joke.
Money.
I think since then, though. Oh, sorry.
Do you legitimately have any interest? Because the CFO, treasurer, do you legitimately have any interest in economics or managing finances or anything like that? Or
no, I didn't.
Have you developed any?
Yes, actually. So the thing was, I didn't realize how complex it was. And then when I looked into it more, I was like, okay, this may not be entirely for me, which is also why I made the switch to marketing. And I've been doing our marketing a lot more. But when I made that switch, I was like, oh, wow, this is really complex. and actually interesting the more I read into it. And I didn't know economics could be interesting until I started looking into it on my own time. Because when I first saw economics, I was like, oh, what is that? What is this? Why is this so confusing? I don't know how to do math. And now it's like, well, I know how to do math a little bit more. I'm pretty good at it now. And I actually like doing stats now, so that's always fun.
Oh, liking stats.
Yeah, I have a degree in math, and I don't even like doing stats.
I went from getting a 1 on my AP exam in stats to actually really liking stats and getting a 95 in one of my actual courses in college. But yeah, stats was not my strong suit in high school.
That's funny.
Right on. I'm sorry, Josh. Yeah, I think you were going to say something. I asked.
No, you say it first because I was just going to kind of segue back into topic.
Segue.
Yeah. Okay.
Segue away.
So back to EGDC. So what are some of like the programs and stuff that EGDC runs? Maybe just to give like some background about what EGDC does specifically for our folks in chat over here who don't know what we're talking about.
So EGD is we run a membership program of sorts, but the thing is we try to do as much as possible for free. Be it completely free events, be it whether you're a student or you've graduated already, or even if you're faculty at a school or something, completely free. So for example, that's like 100+ workshops every year. We also run our fellowship programs, which Josh was actually a part of at one point. And when we had our game studio program, and essentially what we do is we pair you with other people of similar fields. So for instance, let's say you need a programmer, and we have an art student, a narrative student, and a coding student. We will get, and that you need one more programmer. We will give you that programmer, and we'll help you set up a studio. And if you're by yourself, for instance, and you're a single student, let's say, and let's say we have 6 single students that are all in completely different fields but want to make games. We put all those students together. We go, okay, here are the events you can go to, and we'll help you get into those events for free. Here's the portfolio building aspect where you get to build games every single month. And it's a resume experience for all those things. And we help you get into internships in the games industry.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really
it's like helping people get a foothold in the gaming industry when they're students. That way, because we all know it's really difficult or almost impossible really to get into the games industry as a student without like sacrificing like super like you go through a whole bunch of crunch and stuff. You have like, I mean, we all know that the state of the industry at large isn't the most lifestyle balance, right? If we can prevent
do you teach them that
with no information,
Yeah.
So I actually don't teach it. I went to school for game design, actually, funnily enough. I don't personally teach it, but we bring in a lot of really cool. We have our CEO is the person who runs the program, and they do all the lectures every week. And they also bring in a lot of developers. Like I think we had one of the technical artists from Insomniac Games. We had one of the people who runs all the esports events for Microsoft in New York City in one of their flagship stores. And then we also had one of the head developers for Killer Queen. If you've ever heard of Killer Queen, amazing, incredible game. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff in terms of lecturers and just the person running the program itself. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Can I jump in and ask? So let's say I'm a guy. Let's say I'm a young Josh Broncoli. I love game design, and Josh, how did you find out about them, and how do you get in? How does a Josh get into this?
By you love game design, you mean you love Persona, and you play it all day, every day.
Hey,
and you are maybe want to know something about how
the only game I play is Persona. Okay.
No, you also play Fire Emblem. So
that's true.
So basically, you only play Persona.
Go ahead, answer these questions.
Who's answering, me or Ben?
You.
I can answer.
How?
Okay.
Yeah,
so this is actually funny because I actually ended up joining. I started joining for the esport section, not for the game design section, because I was playing League of Legends at the time. I was not good, but there was a flyer for I
bad league players.
Yes, bad league players. It was for like not varsity, like a junior varsity. It was like for like silver and gold players, basically, to like have a team to play on, and I was bronze at the time. I was like, well, I'm not getting on this team, but maybe I'll ask if they're like doing something. So I emailed the guy who was in charge, who's Max, who's Ben knows who Max is, but
Yeah.
So I asked him about it. He said, oh yeah, sure, we're trying to pull something together. Never pulled together a bronze team. Never happened. But I ended up finding my way to where they had their meetings, which was not in a very obvious place. It was like you had to like, it was not in the main college building. It was like in another building that you had to like walk, like it was like you had to go down the street and like turn a corner, and it was there. And even there, it was like up on like the third floor or something.
On that note, we didn't have a campus. We had 3 big buildings in New York, in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And then 1 extra building that was attached to the 3 buildings, but not in any way that you could actually access it from the 3 buildings.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
Yeah. It was
and you have
the most
so like you have to leave the
place to
school.
find.
You have to leave the school, go around the block, and then they have to go next to the precinct next to our school. And then there's another building over there that is like barely marked at all. And you're like, yeah, this is part of the school. We won't tell you, but this is part of the
New
school.
York. Oh,
Good
it sounds
design.
beautiful. Amazing.
There's actually another hidden part of the school, which you probably don't even know about, Ben, because
only the Bronze League players know.
Because that's where they all have to go to eat lunch.
It was
so they don't get made fun of.
what was it even called? The Roosevelt Center. It's like 5 blocks away. It's like nowhere near the rest of the school.
Oh yeah. So our dorms are also like that. Our dorms, you have to take the train to school still. That's how far they are, and it's like a 20-minute commute from with the train. Without the train, it's a 50-minute commute.
Right.
So wait. Let me pause this story for a second, Josh, because I remember when we first were talking to Josh about having him join on K.O. Koala, and he was going through his resume, which included EGD time and EGD. I think the game jams is what I'm going to call them, but it's like what Ben was just talking about, right? Yeah. So Josh told us, and I read it on your website earlier today too, that basically you guys tried to be an organization, but were shut down or something like that. And 2 years later, so can you tell us that?
Yeah, so our school did not like us. They were like, games? They're just games. They don't mean anything in education. And then we were like, okay, we can prove you wrong. Watch this. Then the next year we went, okay, we're hosting a convention. We had 500 plus attendees. People from other schools were sneaking in to get into our convention because we had like industry professionals. We were sponsored by Game Fuel. There was a bunch of esports people there. Like, it was crazy. And like from there, the school was like, okay, we'll give you $500 for 800 students. That's fine. And
you can buy them all, man.
It gets worse. After that, the school was like, okay, hear me out. You cannot get a room until you're a club for 2 years. We're like, okay, we've only officially been a club for a year. And because we were an unofficial club that was a combination of 7 different clubs that were esports clubs, like League of Legends club, or like game design clubs, and we combined all into one.
Yeah, because they were all shut down, right?
Yeah, and that's where the name, the Esports and Game Design Collective, is the full name. That's where it comes from. But we combined into one club, and then from there we were, okay, now we're the biggest club on campus. We've held a giant convention for the school. Now when do we get a room? And they're like, yeah, you gotta wait 2 years.
Wow.
and then we knew someone in our student government. They were like, okay, now that we finally recognized you as a brand new club, you can get a room. There you go. But for 2 years, they would not let us be a club.
One room for 800 people?
Yeah, right. 0 rooms for 800 people.
The worst part is, before we were a club, we were already an International Game Developer Association chapter, so with the IGDA. And then on top of that, we were a TESPA chapter before we were an official club. So they used to do, before TESPA shut down, like community-wise, they did all the Activision esports for collegiate and for all colleges.
Okay.
So we were affiliated with organizations, unlike any other club in our school, before we were even a real club. And then from there, it continued to evolve. Like at this point, we serve around 2,000 to 3,000 students a year.
But they're all students at this specific college, correct? Like you haven't branched out beyond your one college, or
it is
what?
branched out.
No, now it's branched out.
Yeah.
That's why I'd say it's around 3,000 to 5,000 now, and it's always growing. But before this, it was probably around 2,000 from most major schools in New York City.
I see.
So that'd be from Brooklyn, the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island. And then even some from New Jersey as well, because New Jersey's not too hard to get to. I mean, New York City's not too hard to get from New Jersey in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Interesting. So how did it spread out now? How have you expanded since then?
So now we're actually we're pending nonprofit status for a 501c3. Essentially, what that means is we don't pay taxes, and we also really like to help people. Because like our goal and even our costs for everything that we do is we keep it to a bare minimum so we can help as many people as possible, and also so it's as affordable as possible for students. Because like obviously we have to charge for some things, and but we try to keep as much as possible free. So like for instance, like some schools can get like institutional membership with us, and they gain access to our career advisement, our student programming, our student advisement, and they get access to all of our fellowship programs. Because now we also have, on top of our game studio program, we also have an esports management program, and that's for like marketing, running teams, etc. And there's a lot of really cool stuff going on now. But we essentially transitioned from a student club to a full nonprofit.
Very cool. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. That's a fucking crazy story. Cool story.
Yeah, really cool.
So during this becoming a real club phase, that's when you joined, Josh. Yes? Back to your story?
It was actually, I joined before it was officially recognized.
You joined before me, I think, actually.
Yeah.
But you didn't show up a lot.
I didn't show up a lot until senior year.
He was playing Persona. Like, he can't come to the club.
Yeah, I think I joined when I was a junior, but it was like towards the end of junior year, and I was busy, as juniors generally are.
That's true. Yes.
So I didn't show up that much. Senior year, I showed up like all the time. I mean, I basically lived in that club. Between that club and like the library.
It's okay. We used to be a closet. Like our club was actually a closet in the media building. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were
that's when we had 800 students, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the art building hosted us in against the wishes of the main school building. They were
so nice about it. Like I felt so bad because at one point, like every Friday we were running things in like on one of their floors, and at one point I was casting for a tournament, and I'm so loud you can hear me 3 floors down. We're on the
What tournament? What tournament are you screaming that loud for?
It was Smash.
Oh, fuck.
It was like one of my first experiences casting. And my voice is just really naturally loud. Josh will tell you that. Anyone you talk to will tell
I know that life. Don't worry.
Yeah, I've turned down your volume already. Shit.
No, that's completely understandable. I expect you.
Just kidding.
But so I like you can hear me 3 floors down, and they have to come up, and they're like, "What? What's going on?" And is someone being murdered? And I'm just like, oops.
You're like, yeah, someone's being murdered. That's fucking loser.
Someone's being murdered. That Joker just killed that guy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Right on. Okay. So Josh stumbles into the club. Is this how normal? Like by now, with you guys, it seems like with the amount of
much bigger
you guys have, right? Like,
yeah, I'm assuming there's like an application process and stuff, right?
Can anybody just get in, or how does that work?
So anyone can join the community. And like, especially considering we're fully virtual right now, everything runs on Discord. So, we don't have an office space right now either, which is kind of a shame. But on virtual, it doesn't really matter. So we run through our Discord. You can join at discord.gg/EGDC. We have a vanity URL.
We don't even have a vanity URL yet. Thanks, Anthony. No, actually, it's my fault.
Yeah, you can apply for it. No, you can apply for it eventually.
No, I've tried. I tried, and then never mind. It's not.
Yeah. But anyone can join through there. It's really North America centric right now. But anyone can join. Anyone can attend the free events. We usually host them on Discord. We also actually have an event coming up that's our waffle games, which I probably can get a little bit into more later. But essentially, it's a giant free convention. We'll get into that later though, because it's on the script, right?
Well, the script.
Yeah. Yes, the script. But yeah, so it's essentially worldwide now. Anyone can join. Like, I think we have like 15 countries signed up for our event this week.
There's actually somebody in chat asking right now, does that include the UK?
Does
that include the UK?
One day we might, but we're not sure just yet because our membership programs are like iffy. Like basic membership we can do for free for everyone. But like for our like paid membership, We can't really do it right now because it's nonprofit hell,
Sure.
and taxes are not fun. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It's not fun.
We might have some English boys who are interested. And that's all I'm saying.
We have
they're free to join and come to all our events. All of our events are completely free. And we even in our server, we provide like support service coordinators for helping students with financial aid. We help them with their classes or finding mental health specialists in their area. Like there's a lot of stuff, and that's all completely free. And
That's
on top
awesome.
of our like special interest groups for like League of Legends, LGBTQI members, etc.
Josh did Josh get in because he was a bronze league player and then they needed a programmer and
at the time that I joined, it still hadn't really gotten to the point where it was like officially recognized and stuff. We had a lot less people, obviously. So a lot of the stuff was just like you show up and we'll fit you in somewhere, right? So I joined a game studio program, which was what he was talking about, where like they kind of find people from different areas of expertise and put them together to make like a mini game studio, and then you work on stuff and you do game jams together. I joined that. When I joined that, there weren't so many people who were trying to join it at the time that there was like competition, right? So like as long as you like signed up, you were able to get on. Nowadays, there's a whole formal process that you need to go through because now there's so much more demand, right? People are trying to get in, right? So now you have to actually go through a real like vetting process to make sure that
which makes sense. Yeah.
Which makes sense.
That's also because initially we were mainly doing students from Hunter College and then other students in the CUNY program. It's now open to a lot of other people, but that's how it used to be before. And even when Josh joined, we had around 100 people in our 80 people, I think, in our GSP program.
Yeah, I think
it was somewhere around there. We had like 10 studios or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, that was
all all developing games monthly. They're constantly updating, upgrading their skills a little bit. It was a lot less organized than it is now, because now all the lectures are done online. We do everything way faster. There's always constant help for people who need it, and it's just we're way more organized than when we were student organization, because now we're an actual business, so we got to make sure it's actually business like.
Yeah, we were very memey at the beginning with our games.
Yeah, definitely.
You remember? Were you in that one, the chicken nugget dating sim?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't there. I wasn't.
That was
when we made the chicken nugget dating sim.
That was such a terrible meme.
I actually have the picture of Josh. At his first game jam. At his very first game jam, I have that
Send
picture.
Send it to Skylar.
Send it to me.
That wasn't my first one. That was the second one. That was my second game jam. That was the one where we did because the first game jam I was remote, so you don't have a picture of me for that.
Oh yeah. I remember now. This is the second game jam.
Lucky you, Josh.
The second game jam, I went there in person.
This is part of his testimonial. Let me see if I can crop it. Actually, hold on.
Yes, from my.
This is Josh presenting his first game in the Microsoft building.
Look at this boy. Hold on.
And they made a game based on IKEA, I think. And it was basically a puzzle game. It was so funny, but it was so incomplete.
Hey.
There he is. There's our boy.
Damn, dude. Look
with my college t-shirt on.
Very nice.
And college hair, man.
Yep.
College hair. With our knockoff IKEA game.
Amazing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
No, that was so much fun though. Like that game jam was so stressful, but it was so much fun.
Well, because you had we hadn't even figured out really what we were doing until like mid through the second day. Like we were still like throwing ideas off each other. Like, what should we do?
Wait, Mel was on your team? Team during this, right? So this is the first game jam then? Because
no. My first game jam was the chicken nugget dating sim.
Oh right.
This was the second one.
It was my first. Right. It was my first game jam. But essentially, Josh and his team are like struggling. Like first night, they're struggling to have an idea. Second day comes, they're still struggling to have an idea. Then midway through that day, they figure it out. And then it's like, if you've ever been in a game jam, like we hosted one near the end of last year actually, and running it and helping students like figure out what the hell they're doing. Oh man, I do not want to be in that position. As much as I love game jams, I'm happy to be in the managerial position because game jams are stressful.
So is that like creatively guiding them, that role? Like helping them what to do?
Yeah, so essentially it's either like helping them follow the guidelines, reminding what the theme is, hosting some of our workshops. Like sometimes we'll have we had a 2D animation in 2D sprites and 3D animation workshop from I think it was a BMCC faculty named Tom Eden, and he's worked on stuff like Fairly Odd Parents and I forget what show he worked on. I can look that up in a little bit, but he's worked on a bunch of really cool like Nickelodeon shows. Kids Next Door, that's what it was. He worked on Kids Next Door.
Kids Next Door was Cartoon Network, right? Yeah,
yes.
Cartoon Network, yeah. And he's doing 2D animation in 3D environments, and we have a bunch of other workshops going on during the day with like VR workshops and stuff like that. On top of helping students figure out what they're doing, because a lot of students did not know what they were doing, or they were like, they lose focus and then they just don't know where to go. Yeah, but overall, it was a really fun event. Some great games came out of it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I remember we had one bug, and it was a bug with Unity. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we went and got like an actual like Unity professional to come and help us figure out like what the issue we were running into was. It was really great because you get to see like
you have no idea how many situations Anthony and I have wanted an Unreal professional to fix our stupid bugs.
I was about to say that's probably something you still wish you had.
Yeah, very much so, dude. We just have to rely on the forum trolls who think they know how to do things in Unreal.
Yeah, and what's also really good is that the forums for Unreal migrated and they didn't provide redirect links.
It's really hard to find the redirects for any of the posts.
Oh god.
You like Google something, you're like, oh shit, this might be it, and you click and it's like community has moved.
No, I completely understand that. Like we're trying to, so what we were trying to do was we were trying to teach all of our exhibitors for our event coming up about Hopin, because that's how we're planning the online convention, right? And then we find out we've been sending people support links that don't work because they moved all their support links to Zendesk, but they didn't redirect any of them. So it just takes you to the homepage.
You hate to see it.
Broken
But
links.
the preview still works. That's the weirdest part.
Right.
If you go to the preview, it tells you what the title of the support page is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so weird.
That's funny.
But yeah. That's
okay,
that's
Josh.
interesting.
So Josh gets in. Well, Josh, take it away. You can segue into your next thing. I wanted to know the story of the Broncoli entrance. Now we got it.
I mean, that wasn't really the full story now, was it? I guess it kind of was.
I don't want to hear anything else about Josh. I want to hear about Ben.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear about me.
It's okay. I had that's not true. I had to interview Josh for media, so people do want to hear about Josh.
That's fair.
Yes, I should just read off my interview because I'm pretty sure I was more eloquent then.
All right, what's next?
Yeah, that's debatable. That's debatable.
That's debatable. I had like 50,000
I'll let that slide.
50,000 50,000 likes, something, short pause. It's okay. It was edited out in the transcript.
We had one of our staff transcribe that, and it was.
Oh no! Oh boy! I feel sorry for them.
He said he's never manually transcribing anything ever again. After we made him do that.
Amazing.
Do I know that? Do I know who it was?
It was Kendi.
It was Kendi. Oh, poor Kendi. Tell Kendi I'm sorry.
No, it's
Rip
all
Kendi. Sorry, Kendi.
Kendi.
Anyway,
okay, Ben. I'm gonna ask you a question since I can't rely on Josh to transition things properly.
No, you got it.
I'm just gonna ask you a question, Ben. What are your top 3 video games to play for fun? And what are your top 3 video games that you say have the best design?
Ooh, which may not be.
It doesn't have to be 3. It can be 1. It can be more. The 3 is arbitrary.
You can start with 1.
But that's my interest. I'm interested in those 2 questions.
I think my top 3 games is probably Xenoblade Chronicles, the original. Definitive Edition is the same spot. Fallout New Vegas, and probably Halo 3. That's been Halo 3 is the reason I got an Xbox, and it was incredible. But my favorite design game is probably New Vegas.
Okay.
I think that's the only game I've ever seen or played where I could just go, hear me out. What if I just did everything and then it was different every single time, despite the fact that nothing changed about what I was doing? Like everything I did about I've gotten every single. I am not the type of player to do that. I don't like completing games like that. I just go, and then when I feel like I'm ready to finish the game, I finish the game. But in New Vegas, I was like, hear me out. What if every single storyline fit? What if every single storyline was just good? Oh,
New Vegas is
I
a huge
could.
game too.
It's like for its age, like it's aged still really, really well. Honestly, I like it. If anyone hasn't played New Vegas yet, please go do so. It's better than Elder Scrolls. I'm sorry, I love Fallout more than Elder Scrolls. It's just how it is.
I may or may not have never played either of those games.
Okay, then hear me out. It's your
Anthony
time.
couldn't play it for more
after
than like
this,
2
go
minutes.
download the game. It's like
You can
$10.
stream it.
I promise
Do a
you,
live
Anthony would
stream.
stop playing the second he's like, "Oh, I have to walk through the wasteland to find someone to talk to. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out."
No,
That's
no, no.
Anthony.
You get to shoot giant ants and radioactive bears and reptiles.
That's the kind of sales
That's
pitch
true,
I'm
there is
looking
shooting.
for.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could just ignore the entire story and just go. I just want and just shoot as many people as you want, and that's part of the story. That's crazy.
Okay, fair, right on. But I'm gonna see. Can you any other ones after New Vegas? Best designed ones? Because Skylar did ask 3. The man's a good guy. Like, come on, give it to him. I know you got some in your head.
In terms of JRPGs, I think I'm probably gonna have to put Xenoblade there too. I don't think Persona.
you're not allowed to just say your favorite games
Okay.
are also the best design games for the record.
I mean, that's why they're my favorite though.
Okay.
It's okay.
Also-
Xenoblade's
also-
design is pretty good.
Yeah, but I think the last one is probably FF14.
Okay.
I think that for an MMO, that game is like I hate it. I love that game. I don't have time to play it, which is why I don't play it. But like I love that game to death.
What about Xenoblade Chronicles design appeals to you so much?
There's no grinding. You don't
That's
like
true.
as a person who plays long ass games. I put
Well, actually,
300 hours into that
I
game.
didn't even realize
I
that.
didn't
but
grind
yeah,
once. I've never
there is
ever
no
grinded in
grinding that
Xenoblade.
game.
Yeah, because essentially the game goes, you want to play story? Here's actually good story. You want to play gameplay? The gameplay is just incredible. Like everything about it feels right. The movement is great. Like the dialogue when you're talking to people is fantastic. Like in English, I haven't seen in Japanese. I don't know Japanese, so I can't talk about that. And then like just the feel, everything about the feel of the game and the aesthetics of the game is just incredible.
Yeah,
So
I
you
think
like
that progression wise, Xenoblade does like go so smoothly.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even realize until you said that there was no grinding in the game because it just never even occurred to me, which is crazy because every game I play has grinding in it.
Yeah, like you just don't think about it. Like, you don't think
Yeah.
about it. It's something you don't think about until you beat the game.
Yeah, and then you play the game again.
Yeah.
new
Except
game
like-
plus.
So you
I have,
so
Oh, sorry.
Xenoblade Chronicles. No, you're good. It's cool. But have you played Charles Barkley's Shut Up and Jam Gaiden?
no, not yet.
You should.
I have.
It's a
I have
strong
played-
entry in the RPG genre, in my opinion.
I've played a lot of other fun games like that. I've played Shaolin versus Wu-Tang if you've ever heard of that fighting game, or the Swords and Sandal games. I own all of them on Steam. Don't ask why. They're just if you've ever played Flash games as a kid, it's like that. And those are the
Flash
epitome of
games.
not well designed, but still fun somehow.
Very
Flash
good.
games
Very
were,
good.
Okay, all this game talk has me curious. You seem like a busy guy, Ben. Would you say you're a busy guy?
Yeah.
Okay. How many hours a week do you play games? You think?
That's hard because I think it's probably only around. I say only, but it's around like 10 to 15 hours. Because like I'm either playing games with friends on Discord, which is why I don't play single player games anymore. It's like really hard for me to find time. So I'm either playing games on Discord so I can also get the socialization, or I'm not playing games. Like Monster Hunter Rise has been a blessing because I get to play that, but with friends.
Oh, Monster Hunter Rise fan fuck! With Sean
Ooh.
fucking Rollick in the Discord would be so
I have-
happy.
I have Monster
we
Hunter
people
Rise.
in the Discord.
You do?
I need to get it because
Yeah,
It's
because
very
everyone's playing
fun.
it now.
Come on, man.
I'm
Everyone's
letting you
playing
know
it
now
now.
though, the story ends so quickly that you can beat like the story for the single
Mhm.
player in like 2 hours probably.
Ooh, interesting.
But the multiplayer content's really, really big. That's like the
Sounds
the
like
top
something Anthony would appreciate. Anthony likes
Yeah.
going straight into gameplay.
2 hours is good. Yeah.
But can we
Okay.
really call the Rampages gameplay? Can we?
No.
No, they're very bad.
I don't like them. I've seen people who like them. I love the new Wirebug system where you get to
Yeah,
be
it's
Spider-Man
cool.
and Monster Hunter. But playing tower defense in a game about killing big monsters it doesn't feel right.
I like
Yeah.
tower defense.
It's not good tower defense. It's like bad
okay.
tower defense.
Yeah.
Well, I should still
yeah.
probably get it. I was actually going to.
Oh no, I think it's a great game. It's just that
Yeah,
I just
no.
don't think those missions are good.
I
But anyway,
keep being like, do I get this new game or do I play one of like the 100 games on my backlist? And this is my like eternal struggle.
right.
I actually don't have a backlog somehow.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh
that's-
shit!
That's
That's
incredible,
still-
actually. That's called
I don't know how
pacing
I did
right
it.
there.
Yeah.
I beat
Skylar, were you
I-
gonna say something?
Oh no, go ahead. You're good.
Okay.
So I finished my entire backlog like last year. And there's nothing on it now. And like I just buy games so I have more things to play, but like somehow I completed it and I'm just like I'm like in a transcendent state of gaming at this point.
Cool.
Well, that's amazing. I wish I had
Yeah.
enough time
It's
in my life
transcendent.
to do
You were
that.
the first like legit gamer I've ever talked to who has finished their backlog.
I completed the unsurmountable mountain.
I've seriously never even heard of that. Anyway, okay, right on. I have some questions as well. I've been writing as you've been talking to Josh, but Josh, if you want to bring up another point, I'll ask. If not,
No, go ahead. Yeah,
so
take as much
Spoiler alert:
responsibility.
Josh has no more
Go for
points
it.
to bring up.
Spoiler alert!
Josh will
I'm
bring
not
up
sufficiently
Josh will go
prepared.
in a-
Shocker.
Josh will go in a circle and bring up the same points. I'm just
No,
waiting.
no, I won't. I promise I won't.
Josh, you have no
I
idea
have-
what our developer meetings are like. Josh and Anthony both have that skill, so
Oh,
we're just there. Yeah,
yes.
If it makes you feel better, so do I.
that's good.
Hey. Okay, Ben. So you were talking about like in the way that some of these I'm going to call them game jams. I think you called them something
That's
else, but okay. That some of the way that these game jams get started is that somebody's got an idea, if I remember correctly, and then you try and bring together people of different specializations, like a programmer, artist.
Mhm.
What were those specializations that you're kind of looking for? You named off a few, like programmer and artist, but I think you said more than that, right?
Yeah. So I misunderstood. So we host a game jam. We're gonna host a few more, but that's our game studio program. It's a fellowship program we run for students.
Okay.
And essentially, what we'll be looking for like English majors, which are into the creative writing and narrative,
Writers,
audio
okay.
designers and engineers. We're also looking for obviously programmers in any engine. It could be at Unity, Game Maker, Unreal Engine, like etc. And then we're also always looking for art people. Like if there's a field that somehow correlates to game design, we will find a place to put you. Or like
well, and that's awesome. I was curious which one do you like get the most of? Like, do you have more artists than you do programmers, or it's pretty even across specializations, like head count perspective?
I think we actually used to have more programmers than art people. And I think now we have more art people than programmers.
Huh?
Art is always the biggest one. Art and programming are usually the biggest two. Because everyone who goes into game design, they go to college, they're like, yeah, you don't have to learn coding. I promise you, if you don't like coding, you don't have to learn it. People are always looking for new coders, and it's a really important skill. But you don't have to code. I'm telling you this because I wanted to code. I thought I had to code first, and I didn't like it. I hated it. You don't have to code. I promise you.
Especially with like the advent of these new like visual scripting tools, if you will, that the
Yeah.
engines have, right?
Exactly.
It's making it so that non-programmers can make these games for sure.
Unless
Yeah,
Anthony
definitely.
is your boss,
Yeah, Ben,
you better
you're
watch
not
out.
contributing any logic to our main line, buddy.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm just kidding.
Josh, what are they doing to you?
What's the weakest specialization? Hey, Josh is a programmer, so he can shut
I
up.
am a
Like
programmer.
he's
I
got to
have
do
no-
a good
I
job.
have
Okay,
no
We have
rights.
to hold the
Although I
standard
will
here.
have
say
no rights.
recently at KO Koala, Josh has been basically our lead
That's
artist. He has done
I've
basically no
basically been an
programming.
environmental designer. I haven't actually touched a line of code in months.
but not because it's because he's got talent, Ben.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
does.
talent.
You guys missed your chance at getting a good artist. You thought he was a coder.
Nah, that's where the
He
D&D
thought he
skills
was a
kick in.
coder.
The D&D skills.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
that's where the
Oh.
D&D skills kick
Right.
in.
But he
That-
keeps
that-
like
that's where all the
putting
art
chicken
comes
nuggets
from.
and everything, and I'm so confused. Like,
It's
Yes.
not you
I'm just kidding.
slander.
Okay,
Slander.
If you ever see a chicken nugget from Josh, just know it's from us.
Not my fault.
It's from Josh.
I've been
and us.
indoctrinated.
This is an EGD nuggie. I'll remember that. Now, Ben, what's the least represented specialization? Writer?
It's probably audio designer, actually.
Oh,
So-
Oh,
I
Anthony,
just
they
music
got room
aspect.
for you.
they'll accept me.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm not super in tune with the program because I know I'm not the program director, but like I still check in every now and then. I still look at it, and I'm pretty sure that's the one we have the least of. Although,
Interesting.
if for those in chat, if you are into sound design and you want to join a studio, that this could be your start.
Hey.
It's true.
Yeah, just the English boys I was talking to you about, they have legitimately reached out to me. One's interested in writing. The other one's, I'm not confident they know what they're interested in. And then the other one was, I think, more like design kind of stuff. Do you guys have like designers in these studios? Like when you do the game jam, do you have like because I think you said you went to school for game design. Is that true?
Yeah.
So do you guys have designers, like a role just for the designers who are just building out the systems and kind of prioritizing what gets built by the team from a design perspective?
So I think that's a little bit more of like a project lead's role, and that one
Okay.
really depends. But when I say designer, I mean more of either be it concept art, in-game art, etc.
Okay.
So like art people, that's usually what it is. For a designer, that like whoever the studio lead is, because we set them up in studios based on their like school year and their what the position is, and from there we go, okay, you guys can decide between yourself who you want the leader to be. They'll be helping you create the game design document. They'll be leading discussions, etc.
So
And
the
I think
leader
it's
of
very broad.
the leader of the team is the one who's doing the
Mhm.
like core mechanical decisions in the game, or who's doing that kind of stuff? Like what the gameplay is like that kind of design. Is there a role for that, or is that more crowdfunded?
Usually it's crowdfunded and brainstorming. So they'll get together, like we'll say like, okay, this is our lecture. We're gonna do a lecture in on our Google Hangouts. And then from there we're gonna set you into your breakout rooms and you're gonna start your game design doc. And you'll all be contributing to it, or you can have like 2 people contribute to it. That's the one role that's not always super defined, but essentially usually the whole studio gets experience with it.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, especially design's a very broad term, right? I mean, you have like level design, you have the like the narrative design, you have the programming design. Like there's a lot of different things that kind of covers. So especially to give like everybody a chance to kind of have their input, it's better to do that, I think, in that case, in like a group kind of.
A lot of teams end up in a scenario though where like there's too many cooks in the kitchen from a design perspective, and then like it's usually very beneficial to have someone who has the final say from a design perspective.
Definitely.
So you don't
For sure.
like run around in
Which is
circles.
why you have the lead, right? You have the one person who's like kind
Yeah.
of leading the group, but also to have everyone else's input as well.
Of course.
Yeah, that's why a lot of the team leader, like everyone works on it together, but a team leader usually gets to make the final call.
I see.
Like I
Cool.
think Josh, you probably experienced this a good bit during that game jam from earlier, because it was probably Kira. Like
it was probably
Kira's,
Kira, actually.
Kira's our current CEO, born
Okay.
leader. Don't get me wrong. So she basically took the role of directing everything. She actually did sound, but on the side of doing sound, she was also making all the main decisions on like how they were doing their puzzles, what art was good, what wasn't, whether like overseeing code to make sure everything's working okay, like etc. Like she did that on top of her team leader positions,
I see.
team leader
Yeah.
responsibilities. That's the word.
I see.
And now she's our CEO, so that's fun.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish I
right on.
still had that game to show you guys. I probably do somewhere,
That'd be
but
Right.
not on this computer. I don't.
If you have that laptop that it's on, that's Kira's laptop actually, right? In that
No, it
picture.
was on my laptop. It's on my laptop somewhere.
you
But
probably have it on your laptop.
my school laptop is probably like covered in dust somewhere. I could probably find it,
Wait,
but
so I have a
not
question.
for this stream.
Are you telling me that after this stream, everyone can go to the KO Koala server and you'll upload the game there to play?
Yeah, to the Discord. And it'll be the first official, first
It's the
unofficial
most,
KO Koala game release.
New Parthenon update.
Yeah.
Play Josh
no.
for the Nugget game.
It's
God.
not the Nugget game. This was the IKEA
The
game.
puzzle game. The
I don't have the cursed chicken nugget dating sim anymore.
Okay.
That is gone.
Kira still has it, I think.
Fuck, that's what we need. Josh.
That's like the
I-
hot. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying our
so
CEO
bad.
might still have it because she was on the same team as Josh. So if she has it, I can bring it over if you
That
guys
would be
want.
hilarious.
That would be amazing.
It sounds like
please.
it's like the Hatoful Boyfriend sequel.
It's not even. It's not. It was so bad. No, so when we were making that, I don't know what we were on when we thought of that. Like we thought that was a good idea. I don't know why we thought that was. But anyhow, we had this weird we tried to do this it is this clicking combat system or something, and we didn't finish the entire game, so it was half a game, and I had to go through all of the text to basically I rewrote a whole bunch of the root because there was so many grammatical errors. It was so bad.
Wait. So Josh, you're telling me you didn't enjoy the chicken nugget dating sim?
Yeah, what the fuck, Josh? Of
Well, I
course.
enjoyed making it because it was hilarious. But
Bronze
looking back
League.
on
What
it,
do you expect?
looking back on
He's a
it,
league-
it's like,
no,
cringe.
He's a league player. He's a league player. It's understandable. They
Agreed.
can't finish anything.
I'm not
right.
a league player anymore. I'm clean. I'm 3 months clean.
He's Dota
Yeah.
now.
So
No, I'm not Dota either. I'm
we're
MOBA
moving on.
clean.
We're moving to a new question, a new path in the itinerary. All right, Ben, I got 2 questions for you. Very
You got it.
important. They're my most 2 valued questions for any human being to evaluate whether I like them or not, which are: what is your favorite animal, and what is your favorite food?
Okay, easy. Favorite animal, bear.
Okay, what
Favorite
any
food?
type of bear, or just bears in general?
Probably polar bears.
Okay,
And
their
favorite
livers
food-
kill you if you eat them. So I hope that's not your favorite food.
It's okay. I'm not eating them. No,
Okay.
no. Favorite food is schnitzel.
Oh, very nice.
Ooh.
I think it's originally German.
Yeah.
But I eat the Middle Eastern version.
Mhm.
So all the Middle Eastern spices, etc. I grew up on it.
That
It's
might be
the thing I eat
fucking
the
good.
most.
That
Yeah.
might be good. I have told Schnitzel sucked in fucking Germany when I went. Okay.
No. Oh,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
it's delicious. I can send you a recipe. I promise you, it's amazing.
Oh yeah, send us a recipe for sure.
Yes, please.
Cool,
we jot
thank
that
you.
down.
Those are good answers to those questions. You're
Skylar
approved.
trusts you. Yes, Skylar trusts you now. It's a barrier you have to
Anthony,
cross.
you gotta stop pirate eye patching
I
that
know.
thing.
What is
Please.
that?
It's
I-
a-
it's
like
a,
a-
it's a
it's a
stress,
fidget
you know, when
toy.
I'm stressed. This is actually a
Oh,
sign
I
that
have
I'm
one of those.
comfortable, you know.
I have one of
I'm-
those.
If
All right.
you want, I can make it really appealing for you. I can send you some pictures of some I made.
Yeah, give me
Yes.
some. Send them to
We
me
have a
again. I'll
food
put them on
channel.
the stream.
we would love it. Yeah, send it to Skylar now. We'll put it on the stream. You know, I wanted to ask you about your. You probably have had some interactions with game industry professionals that I don't like. You got us. Let me put this together better. You have a game design degree, yes? Did it feel like legit? Like you needed it to be in the industry? And / have you gotten feedback from industry professionals at all about how necessary the current educational options around game design and development stuff are for entering into the industry?
Okay, this is actually a really amazing question, and there's good answers. They all work though, but it's very okay. So my thing is, I think you both need it and you don't. I think for some people, school works better for them, and it's a better way for them to learn. Like it's just like I know for myself, I actually don't think I got a good experience out of school besides the organization, because like I wouldn't be here if not for that. But I don't think my experience was super great because our school didn't have a lot of support for it, or our professors were amazing, but they didn't get enough support from the department, or some schools don't even have the programs, period. And they just learn programming, and then maybe you can get into it. And that doesn't always work. But when there are schools that specialize in it, they're like, we have these programs. For instance, I think like sometimes Full Sail's okay, Marissa's pretty good. like when you go to schools like that, there's a lot to learn, be it portfolio building, resume experience, internships, career opportunities from the school itself. There's a lot of really good advantages you can get from those schools, but it depends because game programming is a lot like coding, where you can entirely teach yourself coding and you can entirely teach yourself game design. And I think both are very valid options. It just depends on what type of person you are and how you prefer to learn.
Cool. Interesting. What kind of feedback did you get from obviously for industry professionals to come and check you guys out before you were even legit means that there was excitement, enthusiasm from their perspective around what you guys were doing. I don't know. Do you have any like noteworthy kind of highlight stories? You talked about the Insomniac artist, right? Technical artist coming to speak. Any, I don't know, passing comments, cool talks, moments where you've interacted with industry professionals or industry companies that were cool.
There's a lot. I think for
stand out to you, maybe top 3 or something.
I don't know if there's a top 3 per se, but the number one is if, for example, like that think it's like a legitimate path and have made the comment that it's legitimate is that's hard. I don't have a good answer for this. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I think one I might say is G Fuel. Honestly, like they were the first big sponsor. They were the first big supporter to say, okay, affordable game design is something we want to put our name on. Affordable game design in college and affordable game design education is something we want to endorse. And it's something worth putting our hard cash towards. And I think the hard cash support is more than a lot of people can say. But I've also had a lot of developers like based in New York City say, wow, this event was incredible. I got a lot of feedback from your students. And I think there's a lot of stuff I may implement in my game now. And now this is something now I have a better opinion of games education, because I know there's a few developers like in a lot of places who don't appreciate it too much, and I don't blame them because it's not great everywhere. But where it's great, or where students support it or the administration supports it, it can go really far.
Cool. Awesome.
Let me ask a follow-up to Anthony's question, which I think was maybe part of his question but didn't come off. What's your like favorite talk or like either lecture that an industry professional has given at one of the conventions, or just like a conversation you had with an industry professional about anything gaming or otherwise? I'm just curious. Any cool anecdotes like that?
I think one of my favorite talks is probably this design in VR talk that we did. And it was essentially someone teaching the entire class in VR about how to operate in VR, how to code for VR games, how to use VR with Unity. And it's like, to me, when I sat down, I went, okay, like I'm doing a good job. This is the future of games. And every student that we send out into the industry is going to take this lesson and go, oh wow, we're doing something with it. We're here. We did it.
That's all.
That's cool. I mean, shit.
Yeah,
K.O.
awesome.
Koala is very happy about EGD. We think it's sick. Okay. One day when we actually fucking make money, we'll help you guys out.
True.
No. Hear me out. Once we make money, we'll start sending GS. If you need people for your program, we can send more Joshes.
More Joshes.
We've got more
mass-produced
students in the work. Because
mass-produced Josh.
something we've actually wanted to talk about, and we've something that's probably being planned soon is GSB students, like seniors, and like linking them to career opportunities.
Yeah.
Because like obviously that's like not every studio is gonna have the money to do it that way, but like having access to a pipeline of great, like already trained, they have good portfolios, they have like consistent work in game development straight to studios is like way better than them having to apply to every single studio, and then a bot rejects 4 of their resumes, and then they're just sitting there like, why is no one looking at my resume?
No, man. Absolutely.
That's
150%.
awesome.
I got my career opportunities through an intern placement program. So I was in a program that had relationships with companies that like got you that extra like step in, if you will, got you past the bots, as you say, right? Which which is awesome. So that's super cool. Josh, before I ask some of my maybe last questions, do you have anything that you want to add?
I feel like I wanted to say something I forgot now.
Typical Josh.
Typical Josh.
I'm just kidding. I give Josh so much shit, but he's a great kid.
Cool.
No, it's okay. I do the same thing.
No, I saw you guys got sponsored by NordVPN this year.
Oh yeah, that tweet went out today.
I retweeted it for you.
We got a tweet on our main account. NordVPN, because we got a NordVPN is one of the. And I was like, I saw the NordVPN sponsor today. I saw them tweet out about our event, and I'm like, we've made it. We're there. We're on that YouTuber level now.
Yeah, man. No, fuck. I was going to say that when you said G Fuel. G Fuel is rather notorious for being hard to secure sponsorship opportunities for. So
we also we had G Fuel, and then the next year we had Game Fuel, which is real weird, but like.
To be honest, your guys is the EGD demographic, the hardcore gamers who risk, everything for a non-legit club of game design. I mean, you guys are good target demographic for some G Fuel. Now I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely.
But still, that's still like you said, for them to put some money towards it. You put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah, because it's really hard to get companies to put money up for you, especially when you're doing like our event is completely free. Like we were running it at the time for the sake of running the event, not for making money. And honestly, that's still the case. Like our event is still completely free to everyone. Like, and we even try to pay speakers where possible. We let people we let studios exhibit for free. Like, so if you're like an indie studio, for instance, and you have like a game you want to show off, you can apply and potentially get in for free and be like, wow, like this is an opportunity I would not have gotten otherwise. So it's like we want to lift up the industry and make it a better place for everyone.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's
amazing.
Very impressed. I've been very impressed. Tell your CEO, I'm sorry, what was her name again?
Kira.
I forget. Kira. Tell her that you did a great job. You totally sold us.
Yeah, I agree. I have a question now, though. So you can't talk all about indie games and not, but your top 3 games were all AAA games. So I want to know what your favorite indie game is.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go through my Steam list.
Cool.
I know Loop Hero's great. I've only started playing it recently. Easily one of my favorites. Iconic. It's pretty new, yeah. Iconoclast is another one I played recently. Love that game to death. Iconoclast is fantastic.
Iconoclast was it by Supergiant? Who made Iconoclast?
You're muted.
Yeah, Skylar accidentally muted himself.
Yeah.
I think maybe.
Who made Iconoclast?
Wait, I didn't hear it again.
I said, who made Iconoclast? I can't remember who it was. Oh, no one I've heard. For some reason, I know about that game, and I thought it was because of the developer, but it's not because of the developer, so whatever.
Skullgirls is actually an indie game, funnily enough. That's another one of my favorite indie games of all. I think like you can look at that game and tell the love that was poured into that game. It's just absolutely incredible. And then
I played a lot of Skullgirls, actually. I love that game.
I don't know if this is considered an indie game, actually. Like, maybe not anymore, but like Hades. Because I don't know if people consider
Supergiant is like an interesting situation.
Hades is basically a AAA game at this point. It has more voice lines than the average AAA game.
Fair.
But I appreciate that answer still. It's definitely lesser known, right, than most AAA titles. So
yeah. Oh, and Inner Sloth Games, even before Among Us, like
what did they do before Among Us? Wait, I don't even know.
I think they had a bunch of like point and click adventure games, and those are always, I think it's Henry Stickmin. I think it's called. Those are fantastic. That's where the airship comes from. That new ship actually in Among Us. It's from one of their older games, Henry Stickmin. I love those games to death. I played them as a kid. I still play them now. They're fantastic.
Yeah,
don't worry. I know my favorites are AAAs, but I know my indie games.
Good. Anthony, what were you gonna ask?
All right, Ben.
It's time.
You might be a panda bear loving schnitzel, which by the way, the picture was fucking awesome. I saw it, Skylar.
Yeah, polar bear loving, but
polar bear.
You were close.
Polar. I said polar bear. I said polar bear.
Panda.
11.
You said panda
It's the
bear.
panda.
Oh, okay. Wow.
No,
Okay.
no, not panda bears.
But
Are good though.
we do need to know the most important question, Ben. If one of these, if you can only choose one of these and the other one ceases to exist, never existed
Oh, I hate
before,
these questions.
okay?
Oh, no, please.
I hate
Okay.
these questions.
It gets wiped from existence. You would have never gotten to experience it. You have to even think that hard. Would you
Okay.
choose pizza or burgers?
Burgers.
Let's go. Wait, which one? It stays or it goes away?
I'm so sad to say it goes away. I'm a New
Burgers.
Yorker.
Yes.
Okay, no, no.
Team pizza.
It's so,
Team
if
pizza.
you would ask me any other food, I probably would have said burger. Pizza is one of the only foods I can put above burgers.
Oh,
It's
I see what
actually-
you're
You
saying.
can
I
tell
see
he
what
lives
you're
in New
saying.
York. You can tell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Favorite
Which
pizza
is
topping?
fair.
What's your favorite pizza topping?
I don't actually. I usually like a really like classic cheese slice, but
Oh.
topping,
Yep,
I would
once
go
again.
the what is it? The penne vodka. Like basically, it's penne vodka. Baked on top of the pizza. It's
Damn,
so good.
all right. We're going
the fuck?
classic cheese pizza, or we're putting an entire Italian dish on our pizza.
Okay, no. I don't
I
think
like
you'll
it.
see it outside of New York.
No, it
but
sounds
it's
good.
So good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's fair. I accept that New Yorkers have a bit of a unique experience there. I went one time. We went to go visit Josh. Had a pizza on the corner-ish of his house. I don't know,
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah, you went to the wrong one, by the way. I know which one you
Dude,
went
that's
to.
fucking Fate's fault. I was just.
It is
I was
Fate's
just
fault.
going wherever,
You went to the
okay?
wrong one. She made a mistake.
Now the
You
real
went to,
question you need to ask anyone from New York: pizza or bagels? That's the hard one.
That actually is a hard one. My God. it's
Bagels.
actually
Okay,
hard.
so
Bagels,
what-
100%. I hope
That's
you
really
say
good
bagels.
Goes?
I'm not
Skylar?
sure.
What? No, I said bagels.
Goes?
Wait.
No,
to keep or to
bagel
go- that goes
stays,
away?
dude. What
Stays.
the
Okay.
fuck?
See, that's so hard for me because I
That's
grew
really
up on
hard.
both. I'm Jewish, so obviously bagels, like something I've grown up with. I love it to death. And also, like, bagels are just absolutely incredible.
There's no
Like,
food that beats a
bagels
good
are
ass
great.
bagel and lox with some cream
Oh,
cheese,
that-
some capers, some
That's
onions.
why I was
Bacon,
going to say
bacon, egg,
bagels
and
has that
cheese
man. You
bagel.
put some shit in there,
Bacon, egg,
man.
and cheese bagel.
That's fair. But like,
a lox bagel? That's fucking a good idea, Scott. I'm gonna make.
I
You've
had a
never
friend
had
come
lox
over-
bagel?
Are you high? You've never had
You
a
haven't lived.
Wait, you've never had a
Paper?
lox bagel? Okay, next time you come to visit Josh, invite me. I'll take you.
Oh, fucking! We need to go to New York. We know more
Yes.
New
We
Yorkers
can
than
have a
Colorado.
whole-
people at some point.
We
Yeah.
can have a whole outing.
The funny
Next-
part is,
Next year when we all come to the waffle games in person.
True.
Good segue, Josh. This was one of the last things I wanted to
Josh
ask
did a
you
good
about.
segue.
Have you talk about
Finally, I finally
This
did my
Friday.
job once.
this Friday? Waffle Games 4.0. Did I say that right? That's what's happening. And for those who are in stream, yours truly are going to be there. We are going to be at the EGD Waffle Games 4.0, and I fucking sent a content leak, baby. So we've got the information in. Can you tell us a little bit about what Waffle Games are and what people can expect?
So Waffle Games is our yearly convention. It's something we do it every single year. It's completely free, and it's something we do for the entire community of gamers, not just students. It's 25 panels, 5 tournaments, panels. It's a giant virtual expo hall, which KO Koala is going to be at. Speed networking to either new students across the country or even industry professionals, and a live Q&A at every single panel. So you can talk to people who have worked at Disney, Anbox, NVIDIA, Turtle Beach, Warhammer 40K, Elder Scrolls Legends. This year we have the music composer for Crash Bandicoot and Jack and Daxter. Like,
Whoa.
Shit.
there are some really big names, and if whether you're interested in esports or game design, it is the best, probably the best, most freest event on the East Coast
Most
for esports
freest.
and game design. Most freest.
Yeah, I honestly, I saw the prices for entry and I was like, wow, that's fucking good. Like,
Yeah, no, there are
The
no
base entry
prices.
is
That's
free.
just
That's
donations.
like if you want to donate, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, shit. Okay, even better.
No. The event is entirely free. You don't even have to basic membership for us, which is our free membership tier. You can literally just sign up for the event. Although we do encourage you to sign up for basic membership, you get access to all of our other events. But like, it's a completely free event. We do it every single year, and like, there's so many industry professionals that come in. They're happy to talk. They impart their knowledge on whoever asks for it. It's incredible.
That's awesome. So, yeah, we'll be plugging it more as the week goes on, but especially for the people who are right now in stream, come check out. If nothing else, like, you can talk to Josh even maybe on Friday. You know,
we need to
like,
figure out what our schedule's going to be for that, because I think we need to split it up. I'm probably
yeah,
gonna do the
maybe.
earlier
Apparently,
shift.
he doesn't even know. You know, apparently,
We're going to have to do.
It's gonna be this Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. EST. So whether you're working, whether you're gonna be at home, like, it is like, you will have time to show up. So
yeah, I'll probably take the earlier
suggest you come.
shift, since you guys are probably going to not be able to go to the 11 o'clock EST.
We can do the late shift.
Yeah.
So you said we talked a lot about esports, but we didn't really ask you anything about it. Do you have a favorite esport game, like video game esport, or like favorite esports team?
That's hard. It used to be League of Legends, and I would 100% say League of Legends.
Okay.
Now I'm probably like, as much as the fighting game community doesn't like saying that it's esports, it's still esports, and probably games like Smash, Tekken, and Guilty Gear when that comes out again.
Guilty. My brother's been crying waiting for Guilty Gear Strive to come out.
Strive is coming out, and those are probably my favorite games to watch. And if you've seen Fighter Z, you've seen how crazy that game looks, and how like people will just go on like 100-hit combos, and that's incredible. I can't do that, but that's incredible.
Yeah, you may not know this, but I've actually played competitive fighting games for a long time.
What have you played?
I played Tekken. I originally played Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but I've also played like Street Fighter 5, Skullgirls, Tekken. I played Fighter Z a little bit, like anything. I don't know. Like right now, my most played fighting game is Street Fighter Third Strike, but yeah.
You should try out Strive when it comes out.
Oh, I'm going to. I'm going to grind Strive for sure.
I played smooth.
I played the beta already at my friend's house.
My brother. We were playing the beta. We were like, we have a PS5 hooked up to the same monitor, right? So we were just he was upset because the fight stick that we have doesn't work with the PS5, unfortunately. So he was just using the controller. But we went and got a new one just for that express purpose.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, I actually went to Evo with one of my friends the year before COVID. And I won more than one match of Tekken, which was my goal. So I was very happy.
I still need to go to my first major for a game, but once I do, I experience after COVID.
It's so fun. I've been to Evo and I've been to the International twice.
I want to go to Evo so bad.
Yeah, Evo's really good, especially now that Mr. Wizard doesn't run it anymore. So that'll be nice because he's a piece of crap.
But like, I think Strive is going to be the first game I ever try to play like competitively.
Cool.
I think like I've never played fighters competitively. I just always watch. But like that game, I already love all the characters in Guilty Gear. And I played a little bit of X2 and X2.
X2 Accent Core, yes.
Are Reloaded, or like whatever the name is. And like I love that game too, but I never got like super into it because I didn't have people to play with. But like once Strive comes out, I'm grinding that game.
Yeah, I mean, one big thing about Strive is that it has probably the best netcode of any competitive fighting game ever released. So it's gonna
rollback.
Well, it's not only rollback; it's their rollback implementation that's really good, because there's a lot of fighting games with rollback that still can't really handle like overseas matchmaking. But Strive, one of the reasons they simplified the Guilty Gear gameplay pretty significantly in Strive and slowed it down a little bit is so that the rollback could be better. And so that's how they've been able to accomplish people being able to play like from US to Japan with clean connections.
It is really impressive. My brother actually was playing with people in Japan and there was no noticeable lag.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of rollback, right? Is there isn't lag. Yeah. There's no delay in rollback. It just like sometimes skips a little bit. So it does corrections rather than delay.
See, you say this to me as a Smash player, and I'm just like,
Smash Wi-Fi.
Smash's netcode is awful, dude.
Smash on Ethernet is still bad. It's like it's I think like online it used to be 5 frames of delay, in the game. Like
Mhm.
like before the regular delay, it was always 5 frames. Now it's 4, so it's a little bit better. But like, holy shit, it's the net code is awful. The game doesn't operate properly. Like, if you try to do a few inputs, it just breaks.
I
And,
mean,
like, it won't do
Nintendo
the
has
inputs.
always been like years ahead of the industry in like
Some
gameplay
things,
innovation
yeah.
and years behind the industry in network in like multiplayer online
Yeah.
game environment.
The weirdest part is ARMS has rollback.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously they're like unpopular game. It has
The
like,
one that people don't play.
Yeah, why does ARMS? No, okay. The worst part, they did ARMS dirty. ARMS actually had. I watched a video about like a documentary series about this. ARMS has a really cool competitive scene actually, and like when the game first came out, it was actually growing pretty steadily, and then Nintendo just dropped all the support for the game, and then they couldn't play because
They
people
died.
found out you don't have to play on Joy-Cons. The game plays really well on a controller,
Mhm.
like really well.
Yeah, I played on Pro Controller for sure.
Yeah, and I heard that's how everyone is actually having fun with the game when they.
Yeah, totally.
And that now it's just I think they like secretly dropped the ARMS comic book, like they're not doing that anymore, and like ARMS doesn't get updates anymore. It's just a shame.
Yeah, it's really too bad because that could have been like, you know how Splatoon like became big and now Nintendo really supports Splatoon and the competitive
believe we're
scenes for
getting Splatoon 3.
Splatoon.
I-
Bring a Splatoon
it's
3.
too soon.
Poor Arms just like got no love.
I say it's too soon, but Splatoon 2 was like in 2017, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
No,
a
no way,
Switch
really?
launch title.
That long
It was a
ago?
Switch-
My
it was a
gosh, it
Switch
feels
launch
like it
title,
was.
yeah. I remember.
Well, that's right,
now.
because the original Splatoon came out for Wii U.
Mhm.
Yeah, but that was like 2 years before Switch. So Switch 2 came out 2 years. Splatoon 2 came out 2 years after the first one, and then
Mhm.
now they're releasing Splatoon 3.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because they made Splatoon 2 instead of just porting over the original,
Yeah,
which everyone was surprised about. And now they're making a third one before the console generations. Like even like we're like maybe what halfway through the Switch's console life. If people
you
are
say
to
that, but the
believe.
Switch Pro also got confirmed recently.
Yeah, but it's from what I've heard, it's not a new system. It's just an upgrade to the Switch system.
Right, but
So
what
it'll
he's saying
still-
is it implies they're
same.
extending the lifetime of the Switch.
Yeah,
That's true. But that's what they did with the 3DS, right? They
I
did
mean
the
to
same
be
thing.
fair, they did that with the 3DS, but the new 3DS also had really praying that's not. As much as I think the Switch is already Switch came out with like 4 or 5 year old hardware with like NVIDIA Tegra chip.
Mhm.
But if the Switch Pro has new hardware, all new games are probably going to run on that hardware, and it's just not going to be a good time for people.
And stuff's not going to be optimized for the original system.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be hell for developers, and I also think it's not going to be. It's going to be terrible. Granted, I say that, but I'm going to be getting a Switch Pro the
for
moment
sure.
it drops.
As soon as the moment it comes out, I'm pre-ordering it. Well,
Because I say this because they're buying like first-party Samsung screens, and I pulled up my phone to show them. Ignore the fact that my phone is cracked, but Samsung screens are like the best in the industry. Period. Like the iPhone, like Apple buys their Samsung screens. Apple buys Samsung screens. I think OnePlus also does it. Almost every single company on the planet at this point that makes phones is buying Samsung first-party screens.
I know that.
Yeah, and the price for non-flexible screens are cheaper. That's why That's why the Switch Pro is all AMOLED screens from Samsung, and it's gonna look so good. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, that is definitely hype.
Okay, Ben, we have a couple of community questions, and
We got it.
and then maybe we'll wrap this
Yep.
baby up.
Sounds
The
good.
community wants to know one that's been, think I've seen the most in chat. Stoke still in stream asking,
Please don't. God, this is a
Beef?
horrible question.
or chicken nuggets.
Okay, chicken nuggets obviously, but I try a beef nugget.
Oh, but what
Do
sauce?
beef
would you
nuggets
put on
even
the beef
exist?
nugget? Everything
Mm.
exists, Joshua.
If I had to pick, probably barbecue.
Okay, that's kind of what I saw.
Like
in chat.
I eat kosher to be fair, so like you can't
Oh.
ask me about McDonald's nuggets. I
Mm.
could not tell you. But like nuggets, probably barbecue sauce. It's the most optimal sauce. It's ketchup, but upgraded.
Wait, isn't like Chinese, like Americanized Chinese teriyaki chicken basically beef nuggets?
It's close.
Like
It's
Panda
close,
Express. Yeah, like
The like you can't really make beef nuggets either because the beef won't cook fast enough, and like the breading will burn before the.
Yeah, you're gonna
You
have to
cook the beef
pre-cooked-
separately.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yep.
And put it in batter and then just fry it really quick. I suppose
Like you
is
can
what
definitely do
do.
it. Like people can fry water, and if you can fry,
If you can fry
but,
water,
like,
you can fry.
have you never seen that? A guy
did see
took a
that,
water
yeah.
bubble, he dropped it into a deep fryer, and he pulled out like a small it was like a sphere of breading, and he popped it open, and it was just water on the inside. It was so weird.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what about Marvel or DC? That was another question Omar had in chat. He wanted to know if you prefer Marvel or DC.
Marvel movies, DC shows, and comics. I personally think DC has better shows and better comics overall. I think I like. Oh, there goes my camera. But I think DC just has better characters. Even though like I love characters like Deadpool, DC has better characters like Batman, and it's Batman. But Marvel
It's
movies
Batman.
like infinitely better.
Yeah.
That MCU is great.
Yeah.
They really knocked it out of the park.
The Zack Snyder cut. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet.
No, I've
it
seen
yet.
fucking all of Twitter talking about it.
Justice
It's like
League
6
was a
hours long or
garbage
something,
movie.
right?
Justice League was a garbage
4.
movie.
4 hours.
Yeah, it's 4 hours. And then I watched the Snyder cut, and then I realized that it's actually good, but there were a bunch of complications. Like I think the director's wife, or he had a family member that passed away or was very sick, and he had to leave. And then Joss Whedon directed the movie, and all the cuts look awful. The color grading's not good. And then like the Snyder cut comes out, and everyone's just like, "Wait, it was actually a good movie in disguise this whole time."
Secretly.
Interesting.
I did not know you could use the same shots and make a bad movie. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I don't know. I don't follow it, but it's been interesting to see Twitter kind of all light up about it. Okay, next one. If you could get, this is from Sato. If you could get a high quality tattoo of anything you want, what would it be? And he adds, be creative.
That's hard.
High quality tattoo.
I would probably get a back tattoo.
Okay.
Something like, if you've ever played the Yakuza games, as weeby as
No,
this
I
is,
haven't played.
I probably get something like what the main character Kazuma Kiryu has. He has a giant like soaring red dragon on his back, and I'd probably get something like that, or I'd get arm sleeves. Granted, I can't get tattoos, but like assuming I could, that's what I would probably get.
Okay, right on. That's cool. Gaming Thief asks, you said Halo 3 was one of your favorites. He said, so about Halo 3, did you like both? If so, why? I think what he means is what was your favorite thing about Halo 3?
I think the gunplay. The gunplay is just the best part about Halo 3. It's easily one of my favorites out of the whole franchise, which is I'm also going to answer this other person's question now. But I've played up to Halo 4. The only Halo I haven't played is 5, and ODST actually, which is finally on PC, and I'm going to be able to play it now. I never got to play it when I had an Xbox 360.
ODST?
Yeah, I never played ODST actually.
I'm warning you ahead of time. It's fucking S tier. Okay.
I've heard it's Halo, but a horror game.
I don't know if I would call it a horror game per se. It's fucking dude moody as fuck and is got a very different vibe than the other Halos. I usually when I talk to people, ODST is up there in the top 3 favorites. Yeah, for sure. So I'm excited for you play that for the first time. So you played through all of them, okay? And Halo 3 is your favorite. I have to ask, what's your second favorite?
Probably 2. Dual wielding is just incredible, and I like 2 is the reason I got a 3. I played at his house, and I was like, "This is one of my favorite gaming experiences ever." Especially the Scarab mission. That mission is burned onto my memory. Jumping onto the Scarab, like destroying all the elites and grunts on it, and then just going, "This is my Scarab now." Oh, that was such a good mission.
I remember also jumping on. I was like 13 at the time. I'm like, what? You could jump on this thing? Because it looks like it's supposed to be part of a cutscene, but you like jump on it and you're like, whoa, I didn't like die from that. Like I left the mission level or whatever. It was cool. It was cool.
Yeah, and then also just the ending of I think it's the ending of Halo 2. Maybe I'm mixing it. No, it's Halo 2 because of the Arbiter. But the Warthog mission at the end of Halo 2. That like
I think I know what you're talking about. I mean, there's a section. No, I think you're talking about 3. 3 has the.
It actually is 3. It's been so long. Like
it's okay. It's okay. Now I want to ask you though, real quick, because you said you like dual wield. Dual wielding though is one of the big FPS design headaches. Okay, right? What's your take on that? The Halo community actually is one of the many things they bitch about on and off for the last 10 years. It's like, we need dual wielding back. But in my opinion, rightfully so, it's been removed to make the sandbox more solid across the board, right? Because then you have some guns that are shit when you have them by themselves. Now that you've got a game design degree, legit as it comes, what's your thought about that? You know?
As much as I love it, I completely understand that they removed it.
It's broken.
And like I know that the Halo community fights over a lot of things. I remember them fighting over armor lock and reach. I remember when sprinting got added, people were mad about sprinting. And then like dual wielding.
Don't say that too maliciously. Anthony's one of those people.
Anthony's mad about
Anthony's one of those people who's like about sprinting.
There's gonna be no sprinting in our game.
I actually don't like sprinting either. I think considering how small the maps were in reach, I don't think sprinting. Yeah, I think the abilities were a great system, but I don't know why sprint. Okay, one, I don't know why sprinting was a skill you had to like an armor skill. One,
I agree. Yes,
and two, if it was added, they should have made the maps bigger. In my opinion, because a lot of the maps you could literally just sprint from one side to the other side in like 4 seconds, and I'm just like, but why? Like, what's the point to this?
You guys hearing this? Halo should not have sprint. I'm just saying. Anyway,
no. I think sprint is fine. Just the map design in Halo Reach doesn't accommodate sprint.
I agree. I totally agree with that. That's a fucking weird system, right? For a game design system to like, how do you make a map that sometimes needs to accommodate an ability, right? It's not like that's stupid. Anyway,
there's the big bridge map. I forget what it's called. There's that big bridge like siege map in Halo.
Yes,
Reach. I think it is.
I don't remember its name. Breach was my least favorite multiplayer side.
Or like on Valhalla, for instance, sprinting there works really well. Map is huge. There's a lot of good opportunities to use it. But also, like if I'm sprinting, but there's a ghost available, why am I not taking the ghost? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of situations where I feel like sprint is cool in theory, but it's not necessary, and it breaks the balance for a lot of small maps. But also on the topic of dual wielding, I understand why to get back to that. I was removed. I think it was fine because they added a lot of new mechanics that let me have fun in different ways. As much as I love dual, it's probably for the best that it's gone.
I agree. Okay, cool. Did you guys see any other?
We'll go one more from Kirby since he didn't have any of his questions answered, and then I'm gonna ask Anthony where people can find us.
Cool.
If you could have any animal as a pet, which animal would you pick?
Am I allowed to pick animals that aren't normally pets?
I'm assuming that is the implication with this question.
I mean, potentially not real animals as well.
Ooh.
Not real animals.
Josh apparently extending the question to not real animals.
I mean,
that was definitely not implied in the initial question.
Why not?
All right.
For actual pets, German Shepherd easily. For any animal, probably a lion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dog person, but a lion sounds sick as much as I would hate feeding them probably. And then for not real animals, probably Cyndaquil, because that's my favorite Pokemon.
Okay, sick.
Oh, that's a good one.
There you go.
I was going to say Red 13 from Final Fantasy VII. I thought that's where you were going.
I've only ever played Final Fantasy X. I've never played any other Final Fantasy game.
Oh, I played 14, the first part of the remake recently.
14's not 14's like out of the thing. It's kind of weird.
You have PlayStation?
Yeah,
because it's free on PS Plus right now.
I don't have PS Plus.
Rip. Yeah,
I don't want to pay for PS Plus. I barely want to pay for Nintendo.
Yeah, no, honestly, I wouldn't either. But my brother bought it, so I get it anyways.
That's fair.
There you go. All right,
right on.
I was just gonna say thank you so much to Ben for coming on the podcast, telling us about EGDC and everything going along with it. Everyone look forward to the convention on Friday. You can find more information on. Oh yeah, Josh, where can people find you? Or Ben, where can people find you? Not Josh. I don't care about Josh.
Not me.
So, best place to find me is probably on Twitter. You'll see me ranting either about game design or putting out banger tweets. But you can find me at a dandy with underscores, obviously.
Say that
at
again.
A dandy guy. You can find me on Twitter at a dandy guy.
Oh, okay,
It's
cool.
A_dandy_guy. Or you can find me on Twitch on twitch.tv/dandyafterhours. I stream every now and then. It's mostly variety streaming, although sometimes I'll do like card openings. In case you can see in the back, I play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes I'm doing other games, and sometimes I'm just doing marble streams where I torture myself, and someone made me eat butter once. So that's a thing that happened.
Yes.
There's a clip of it somewhere.
He
But
also
yeah, I do a
streams
lot of my
our
Twitch.
Epic 7 Guilds tournaments.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna start streaming again after Waffle Games because I've been
Yeah, you're gonna be busy. Yeah.
I've been I have off today and I've been working all day.
Oof.
Yeah.
Or like when I was home, I was working. So
Right on. Okay. Where can they find information about EGD though?
So if you want to find information about EGD, you can literally just type in find the event itself for Waffle Games.
Can you say this one more time? I don't know if it cut out for everybody.
Yeah,
but
it cut out for me too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. So if you want to find the event itself, you can go to our website, egdcollective.org. I mean .com, sorry. Not .org, not yet. No, it is .org. Whoops. I did. Okay, so the funny part about that is when we first got our work emails, every single time I typed in .com and I would try to send an email to someone and I wouldn't send. And I'm like, why can't I log into my own email? And I keep forgetting it's .org. So it's not the first time I've done that.
You guys are
Is it cool?
legit now.
Is it cool if I link the hop-in for the Waffle Games registration?
Yeah, you can link
so
anything you want.
If you, I think, and then we have Waffle Games. That's our premiere event this Friday. Make sure you guys come to Koala Entertainment's exhibitor space. Go say hi to them. You have to. You've watched this podcast. I've told you. Now you have to do it this Friday. So make sure you register the event and come say hi. But that's so you can find us on our website or on Hopin. And yes, non-students can join. The event's open to everyone.
Cool.
Right on. If you
where can people
want
find us?
To find out who the fuck we are, if somehow you've listened to this, I mean, I guess if you're an EGD guy and you're listening to this and you don't know who the hell we are,
and you've
you can
listened
find more
for the
information
whole
about us
hour
at
and a half.
koalaentertainment.com. Oh, Skylar got muted. Skylar got muted just when he had something what looked like spicy to say.
It wasn't spicy. I just said if you've listened for the full hour and a half and you still don't know who
the fuck are these guys?
Listen, I'm just happy that I was interesting enough to go past the hour. That's all that matters.
You got it. You got that. You got the 90. You got the
I'm going to be honest.
90.
I feel like this could have easily went on a lot longer.
Gone on longer, Anthony and I have a skill at drawing out conversations for infinite time. So
lap around the building real quick, and then fucking like half a mile later.
We were originally talking about like something in our game, and then we're talking about like the philosophy of like human interaction.
Yeah. I think off of that though, it's time to talk about NFTs. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Right on. So yes,
you'll have to check out Dandy on Twitch for his NFT opinion.
Yes. koalaentertainment.com has links to all our social media where we will be plugging Waffle Games through the week. So if you're in chat and you can't remember this, don't worry. I'm going to remind the fuck out of you through this week. So very cool. Thank you so much, Ben, for joining us. And Josh,
it's been a pleasure.
Wow, thanks for waking up and joining us this time, brother.
Yes, I woke up. Yes. Since I am a nocturnal being, not actually. I wish I wasn't.
He just slept through the last week's dev meeting, which usually happens before the podcast.
I was just joking, but he did.
I did sleep through our dev meeting last week. So yeah.
Right on.
Okay, I woke up at the end of the podcast just so that we could have our dev meeting. So
that's beautiful. Well, thank you again, Ben. Everybody go give Ben a follow, check him out. Ben's in our Discord, so you can talk to him there. And until
I'm
next
also on Cryptic Bonnet, best team. Cryptic Bonnet.
Oh shit! I'm a Cryptic Bonnet fan, dude.
Gang. Yeah, if you're listening to this and you're like, what's he talking about? You should join the Discord and find out. It's cool.
Especially with there's some upcoming good shit for the Discord, so be ready.
Yeah, it is. It's super
We'll get the
good.
lore rewards.
Yeah.
They're there to be read.
Anyway,
Tune
though.
in to our stand-up meeting after this podcast where I tell Anthony and Josh that I did no work on the thing I was supposed to work on.
Anyway, though, thank you guys for having me. I really
Yep.
appreciate it. You guys have been great to talk to. Your community just seems really cool, and it's been a pleasure.
No, man, this is
It's
not
been
the
great
last
to
time.
have you, man.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you,
in
Ben.
a year, I'm gonna come back. I'm just gonna be like, oh, it's Waffle Games 5.0.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's
Yeah,
fine. We
it's
can have you for the annual Waffle Games plug podcast. I'm down for that.
Oh
Right on.
God.
Okay, we will officially close this out here. If you're listening to us on audio, you totally missed out. You should check it out live on Twitch because we're about to give away some gift cards. And Ben, you can join us for that if you'd like. You can leave.
I
if you
will
want
actually.
to. Right on. Thank you, everybody. Until next time.